Hi guys and welcome to TechteamGB. This video is all about what you guys voted for as Tech of the Year in the different categories based on the survey we did over a couple of weeks. So if you want to learn about kind of what's Tech of the Year this year, then stick around. I'll try and leave some time codes to some of the major ones over here, but otherwise, because there's a number of categories, we're just going to run through them and try and keep it as fairly quick as possible and generally just give you who the winner is, what sort of percentage they won by generally, and then a few notes about runners up and that sort of stuff. So let's jump into it. So jumping into the first category, we have CPU maker or CPU manufacturer of the year. This one was hands down AMD with 79% of the vote, which is kind of incredible. I can definitely see why, as obviously their Ryzen CPUs have been incredible both in value for money and performance, and generally has given Intel a pretty good run for the money over the last couple of years. And following that one up, we have the CPU of the year. That one is also won by a Ryzen chip, and that one is the 2700X with 56% of the vote. This is not really that surprising considering how impressive the 2700X is, especially when it comes to value for money. Well, there are a few other chips that are better value for money that weren't on this list. The only chips that were the 2700X, the 9900K, the 2950X Threadripper, and the 9980XE from Intel. Those were the only chips that I included, mostly because those are the either flagships or the most prominent of their class in the year, because otherwise you'd end up with what I've had with some of the other results, which are that they're very split up, very broken up, and very hard to tell which one is which. So with this way, it's a little bit of an easier way to get an answer. Moving on to the graphics card side of things, we have obviously the GPU manufacturer. This one is also pretty easy to guess. Nvidia won here with 80% of the vote. Again, not surprising, AMD really hasn't released that many cards, and of the cards that they have released, like the RX 590, it's really been fairly underwhelming. So with obviously the RTX cards being incredible performance, although incredibly expensive, obviously Nvidia is the clear winner here. And when it comes to the add-in board partner, the people that you actually buy a card from, you know, the ASUS's, the MSI's, the Gigabytes, the Zotacs, those sorts of people who won that race, well, surprisingly, it was actually MSI with 20% of the votes. Gigabyte and ASUS came in at 16 and 18% respectively, so ASUS coming second and Gigabyte coming third, with then EVGA coming in fourth as well with I think 14 or 12%, so still are pretty close in terms of the top four finish there. And overall pretty impressive, also a bit of a surprise. When it comes to peripherals, there really wasn't much of a surprise here. Corsair won with 35% of the votes. Now actually Logitech came in with another 27% of the vote, I believe, so still pretty impressive and actually fairly close, but Corsair really kind of won this one out. And to go along with their Manufacturer of the Year award, they also get the Best Mechanical Keyboard of the Award with the K70. Now there are a couple of versions of the K70, the low profile, the Mark II, and obviously the original. So technically with them bundled they win, but even if they didn't, even if I didn't bundle them together, the K95 would come in first in that case, or even second anyway, so they actually hold the top two spots with the Razer Huntsman Elite in third. When it comes to Gaming Mouse of the Year, this one was actually quite a surprise, but it's just hands down the Logitech G502. Again, there are a few versions, the Proteus Spectrum and the Core and a few other versions, but generally speaking the G502 is hands down the best picked mouse of this category, with nothing even close to it, as you can see on the graph. The monitor manufacturer graph comes out a little bit different here. Now ASUS still wins with 23% of the vote, so congratulations to ASUS, but there are a number of fairly close contenders with Samsung, LG and Acer all up there, and then AOC a little bit behind, and then falling behind you've got BenQs and Dells and stuff like that, so fair play to them. Overall I can understand why ASUS definitely has the lead here, although again not by much, so it's interesting to see a bit more competition in this space. The monitor of the year was actually tied with three monitors. We have an LG monitor, an Acer monitor and an AOC monitor. Now there was a bit of vote rigging with the AOC one, so I'm leaning towards just wholly disqualifying that one, but let's just say that the LG and the Acer ones are interesting picks. The Acer is the X34 and the LG one is the 34GK950F, which is I believe an ultra wide. So two ultra wides are in the top spot, with then the AOC one being again a 32-inch, although I believe that one is a standard 16:9. So rather interesting to see, but overall it was fairly the kind of almost like a random scatter, so I can understand why this one is a bit of a strange graph to look at. CPU cooler of the year was actually a very interesting one to look at as well. The Corsair H115i was hands down the winner here, but actually the most standout victory is actually the AMD Wraith Prism stock cooler. The 2700X cooler is an incredible unit and obviously comes free in the box, so I can understand why a lot of people were very interested in that and why it came in second place. The NZXT Kraken X62 also came in second place as well, tied with the Wraith Prism, so interesting to see, but obviously congrats to Corsair again with the H115i. When it comes to the motherboard manufacturer, ASUS wins here hands down with 38% of the vote. MSI comes in second with Gigabyte in third, although there's not that much of a difference between them, but overall ASUS is the winner here. When it comes to the RAM manufacturer, this one was surprising for me to look at the results for, but actually G.Skill wins here with 39% of the vote. Corsair actually comes in second, so interestingly we must have a lot of G.Skill fans in the audience. I'd be very interested to hear from you if you do have G.Skill RAM, what you have and why you like it the best. But yeah, it's interesting to see. When it comes to the gaming chair brand of the year, of course I'm sitting in a Nitro Concepts. I've got two Noble chairs and DX Racer downstairs, so I'm no stranger to the different brands, but you guys seem to be very certain on what you're interested in, because Noble chairs won hands down with 44% of the vote. DX Racer came in at half of Noble Chair's votes, so congratulations to you Noble Chairs and congrats to Steve too. When it comes to the custom PC builder of the year, I deliberately left this category as one that you can enter your own answer to, because one, I didn't want to region lock it to only the UK ones that I know personally, and also I didn't want to skew any results based on, what I do, people I do or don't know, so I wanted to give you a fair chance, and you guys voted fairly wholeheartedly for Overclockers UK. I personally know Overclockers UK, I've worked with them a number of times, and I've also been to their offices where I've seen how generally great they do at building PCs, and generally speaking they tend to spec things very well as well, with a great tech and service department. So overall, hands down, I'm very happy to say Overclockers UK is the people's choice best PC or custom PC builder of the year. And finally, the tech company of the year, as voted by you guys, the TechteamGB audience in 2018. The winner of that award is AMD with 45% of the vote. You guys were basically unanimous in who you wanted to win this. It was fairly scattered across the rest of the field, I think with AOC actually coming in second, so very, very well done to AMD. Congratulations on the incredible products you've launched this year, but also, winning this clearly prestigious award. So that runs out the People's Choice categories. A few words about my thoughts on this. First of all, I generally agree with the majority of the winners here. There are a few that are more personal preference than anything, like the mouse and keyboard. I personally prefer the Cooler Master Master Keys Pro L, and I personally prefer the Razer Naga Trinity or SteelSeries Rival 310. So personally those would be my winners, but overall obviously you guys have your own preferences, and it seems that especially with the G502 you really went for it, so fair play to you guys. Otherwise, congratulations to all of the winners. You don't get a physical trophy, but you get a little bit of warmth in your heart knowing that my viewers just love you a little bit too much. And of course, obviously thank you to everyone who voted for this. We'll be doing another one next year as always, and yeah, I guess that's kind of that really. I hope you've had a fantastic Christmas, and I hope you've had a great year as well. And of course, best of wishes for the year coming. This is obviously going out on the 31st, so if you're watching this as it goes live, then Happy New Year in a couple of hours, and if you're watching this in the future, then Happy New Year to you as well. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you all in the next video.